Hey guys, it's Carl Brown for GuitarLessons365.com. Got a classic today. We're going to learn how to do Hold the Line by Toto. So as always, we've got Steve Lukather just coming up with some killer guitar stuff. There's just like a classic guitar solo in this one. But beyond that, we got some really cool little guitar riffs going on. And we have that keyboard. It's not a keyboard, it's a keyboard, or piano. What's it called? A piano? It's probably a piano. We have a piano intro that I've also transcribed for guitar. I just think it's a really great rhythm guitar workout. I had a recent Academy member of mine actually thought it would be cool to play, so I was like, okay, let me see if I can do it. So it does. It's a really good rhythm guitar workout too, so I'm going to add that to the lesson as well. All right, before I get into it, please subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Ring the notification bell, of course, so you know when I release a new video, and like and comment and all that good stuff. And please, if you really want to support what I do here on YouTube with all these song lessons and everything, check out my Guitar Academy. It's the best way to support anything that I do online. You'll see a link in the description below. It gives you a free 7-day trial to my Academy. My Academy contains all my guitar courses, covering everything from complete beginner courses to more advanced courses in technique, improvisation, ear training, theory, complete guitar tone course, everything. So please go check it out. I hope to see you there. All right, so let's jump into it. I'm in standard tuning here. And I'm going to start it with this little piano thing. So we can base this just off some triads. All right, so you can choose to do this or not. It's a little bit challenging because I'm trying to make it very staccato-y. So I'm releasing the pressure every time I hit the chord. And that makes it a little bit more difficult to do. But if you want to make it similar to the piano lick, you got to do it. So let's start here. We're going to start here with this first triad. So this is the F sharp minor triad. So we're going to start here with this 6th fretted on the G, 7th on the B, and 5 on the high E string. I'll just go through the chords first. All right, from there, we're going to just basically, all you got to do is now leave that 6th fret there on the G string and just bar across the 5th fret of the B and the high E. So we have this. Now just shift down. We're going to still keep that middle finger on the G string. Just move it down to the 4th finger there. I'm sorry, 4th fret. And then play the 3rd fret on the B and the 5th fret on the high E string. So this. All right, now from there, we're just going to go to this, which is just an E major shape. So we're going to have this 4th fret on the G, 5th on the B, 4th on the high E. And then from there, you're going to make it a sus, E sus 4. So that you're going to do that by just changing the note on the high E string from the 4th fret to the 5th fret. Leave the other two the same, and then back down to that E major chord that we did. So we have this. Let's repeat that. So just get used to the chords like that first. And then you can start trying to do them. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So when I'm doing that, I'm just, every time I hit the chord, I just mute it. Just let off the pressure. Don't let off the string. Just let off the pressure. So just practice that a little bit on that first chord. So from there, we can start talking about how many times we're hitting each one of these chords. We hit the first chord 6 times. And then the second chord, you're going to hit twice. So just keep everything, you're just alternating. It's just down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So just keep that alternation. There's no kind of pattern to learn. So hit that twice, and then we're going to jump down here and hit this chord 4 times. So we have this. 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so it's 4 times total, but that's since we just hit that twice, that third hit happens on that chord. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then another 3 on it. So it gives 4 total for that chord. And then from there, we're going to go to the E major here and play this 6 times. All right, and then 3 times as the sus4 chord, so just play that, add that 5th fret there on the high E. And then 3 times of the regular E again. So repeat. So just kind of just repeating the exact same thing again, but obviously getting that up to tempo. All right, so you can choose to do that or not, but I think it sounds cool. All right, and now we get to the actual guitar parts of the song, and we have this. All right, so this is the way he's doing it just at the very beginning of the song. Later on, when it's actual chorus, we had a little lead in every other time. So, but first, we're just going to play this power chord here at this F sharp power chord off the 9th fret of the A string. So it's the 9th fret on the A, 11th on the D. And then you're going to play, you're going to stay on the same strings, same power chord shape, off the 4th fret now. Just play that there. So it's going to be the 6th fret on the D string, right? Then move that up a half step there to the D power chord at the 5th fret and hit that twice. And then up to the 7th. So we have this. Now when you hit this first, you're going to slide off of it. Kind of like that. Then, and then when you get to the obviously, there's no vocals in the beginning of the song, so we have this. All right, now we have this this leads here immediately into the verse. Now, the verse is kind of really bass dominated, but you can see kind of like what Steve is doing live. It's kind of cool. He just kind of rolls off the volume a little bit. So just kind of roll it down and into the chorus. So what's going on here? So we start here, kind of just get a little bit of the 2nd fret there on the D string, and then I'm going to slide into the 4 on the A, then 3, 2. So you can slide into that E if you want, and then 4, 3, 2. And that kind of leads us, when we get here, it's really kind of the start of the verse. So we have this. So we have this. So when you get here, you're going to play 2, then 2, 3, 4. Palm mute it a little bit, kind of control the notes. Except for that last one, let it ring. And then we have, from there, the next group of 3, which is going to be that 4 again on the A, then 2, 4 on the D. So we have this. And then do that little last three we just did, just repeat them. So the 4 on the A, and 2, 4 on the D. And then we kind of start back over with the riff by going, immediately jumping back to the 4, 3, 2. That kind of always ends it there. So and he's usually sliding into that 4th fret there on the A string, then play 3, 2. So far we have this. So coming out of repeat. Now, after you've done that twice, it's a little bit different. It looks like this. Still has that same ending though. So it's this, we play 2 and then hit 2 twice in a row. So there's no chromatic thing ascending this time. So it's like 2, 2, 4. So let that ring, and then palm mute the 4 twice. Now up to the 5th fret there on the A. Now you could play this. You could do that, but I think it's better to keep it more subdued. When you get to that open string, it's harder to control the string. So I think it's better like that. So kind of just doing 2, 2, 2, 4. 4, 4, 5, and then hit the 5 twice now to that E note here, the 2nd fret on the D string. So this. And then the normal ending, sliding into the 4 on the A, 3, 2, and then start that over from that 2. Now the 3rd time through of this kind of variation here, we have this. So right there he kind of starts just really live, he starts kind of cranking in on that power chorus. So we have this kind of normal 2, 2, 2, 4, then 4, 4. Instead of going, he kind of goes. Just play the power chord off the 5th fret, and then the E power chord off the 7th fret. So all together for the verse. All right, and that takes us into the chorus. I don't know why that verse is like, it just feels good to play. I don't know why. It's pretty simple. It's got a good, cool vibe about it. All right, now we get to the chorus riff, which is very similar to the riff we did earlier. We just have one little thing that's added at the beginning of it. We have this. All right, so basically all I did was, so at the beginning of the riff, slide into the 9th fret on the low E string, and then over to the 7th fret on the A. So there's 2 little notes that lead us in to the riff, and then once you get to that F sharp power chord, it's just like we did at the beginning of the song. So it is. Then the 2nd time around in the chorus, he doesn't do that little lead in, he just goes right to the chord. Now the 3rd time around, you do the little lead in. But then the 4th time without it. All right, so when you listen to the song and the vocals, you can tell why they don't do the lead in every other time. So he's obviously paying a lot of attention to what's interacting with the other, the rest of the music, and so he's brilliant arranger, just these little things like this, and you really tell somebody knows what they're doing. So we had this. And then we go back to the same verse. And then back to the chorus. So nothing new. Don't make me sing and play at the same time. It's going to throw the whole thing away. All right, so now we have the solo. So the solo comes after that second chorus. And so the solo, first of all, is over the main riff. It's over the chorus riff. So you basically play through the riff 4 times, and then you play through the riff again, but you let the notes ring out. So it's the same chorus, but so the second half of the solo is that. So that's a slight variation. You're letting the chords ring instead of killing them. All right, so now let me go through the solo for you. I'm going to play through Steve's solo real quick, and then we'll see how to play it real quick, note for note. So here we go. All right, some awesome stuff in that. So let's start going through this, get into the little finer details of this classic solo. So we'll start with this. So we start here with a little double stop at the 14th fret on the G and the B. Here, play it real quick. And into a whole step bend at the 17th fret on the B. Now you can see right there, when at that second bend that I did, you hear some more noise added. It's not going back to the double stops. He's doing the bend, and you hear him get that G string in there as well. And that's where that little extra noise on the bend comes from, not going back to the double stops. So we start with the double stops. So you just hear that. So you kind of hear it, and then he does the bend without it. So you'll hear that in there. I just wanted to bring it to your attention what's going on. So after that, so couple bends there. We have this really fast lick. Now slowing it down. So it's going to be 14. So he starts it off as kind of like a staccato lick, like that. So he's kind of like we did in the chord thing at the beginning. He's left the pressure each time. So we have this 14, 16, 17, 16. And then from there we have, that's going to be a quick little lick. So So that's going to be 14, hammer 16, pull back off to 14 on the high E, over to 17 on the B, and then back to that 14. Then we're going to just descend. We're going to play 17, 14 on the B, and then 17, 16, 14 on the G, over to 16 on the D, roll back over to the 16 on the G, and then play 14. Now, those from the B string on, you can kind of pull off everything. That sounds fine. So when you get that 14, got some vibrato on it, obviously. From there we have this. Some really cool stuff in there. So we start sliding into the 16th fret there on the D, and then 14 on the G. And then we're going to do an oblique bend. So you're going to play the 17th fret on the B string and the 16th on the G. Play those together, but bend the note up on the G string up a whole step. Oblique, if you don't know what it means, an oblique bend is one of the notes are moving and the other one is staying stationary. So this. Then we have this. So that's going to be 14, and then played once, and then 3 times on the 16 on the G string, and then play 14 and 16 again. So with this. So. Then. All right, so we have this. So a half step bend and release at the 13th fret on the G. Then play 14-11 on the D. Then 14-12 on the A. So, and then you're gonna bend up that 14th fret, just a whole step bend, and then. Now that one is a step and a half bend. So with this. Then you release that bend and come down and play 12 on the A and 14 on the low E's. So with this. So. All right. And then we go back to those double stop. So we just had that lick right there. We played the double stops there at the 14 on the G and the B. And then the oblique bend that we did over. And then it goes into like a bluesy thing, looks like this. So it's kind of a Johnny B. Good thing. So we're gonna sliding into the 16th fret on the G, and you're gonna be bending that note up. So basically, the lick is this. The first lick is gonna be bending on the 16th fret on the G, and then playing 14 on the B, rolling over to the 14 on the high E. And you're gonna do that twice. So we basically slid into the first note. So. And then after he gets to the top of that second time through, he turns it into another standard blues lick, which is kind of the 14th fret on the high E, pull off 17, 14 on the B, and then that bend at the 16th fret, so it's a kind of 4-note lick. And you just repeat that twice. Actually, repeat it. When you repeat it the second time, you stop on that note and then go and do, instead of the bend on the 16th fret on the G, you do a bend, a big bend there at the 17th fret on the high E string. So it is. Something like that. And then we go back to the B string, a bend, then play 17, 14, and then back to 17. A lot of vibrato. Just really heavy vibrato through a lot of this. All right, and then we have this. You got it? Let's just move on. I'm sure you guys got all that. No, I'm just kidding. So let's start here. By the way, that lick is kind of one of those things that's impossible to get note for note, just kind of the nature of it. I doubt he plays it the same way every time. So I've watched him play it many, many times online the past day, and I've never seen him play it the same way twice. So it's just kind of one of those things. But we can get close to it and approximate it kind of like he does every time. But it's just one of those, let's go for it licks, and I got my scale patterns across and just rip it. So that's what he's doing there. So, but before we get to that, we have, so that's sliding into 18 on the G, 17 on the B, and then big bend at the 19th fret. He's kind of bending it as picking it as he bends up. And then it kind of does this 14, 16, bend, and back down to 16. And then we get to the crazy section, which is kind of, you can just approximate it. You got some crazy bends in this thing. So now, like I said, don't worry about getting this absolutely note for note. Anybody that tells you they know this thing note for note, they're lying, straight out. So anyway, so it's when you get to the bottom of it, when he gets to the bottom of it, trust me, I've listened to the isolated tracks and everything. It's just, you can't really hear what's going on until he starts getting up higher again, and then you can kind of make sense. But so what I've done is I've taken like the actual official video, kind of the sort of the fingerings that he's using, the fingering pattern that he's using, which seems to be pretty close, and then other little live footage he'll do here and there. And I've just kind of said, okay, we're going to kind of approximate this as best we can. So anyway, so let's start out. Let's just get the notes underneath our fingers first. There's a couple of exotic, kind of strange notes in there, but they go by so fast that it doesn't really matter. So he first starts going between 13 and 14 on the G string a couple times. So 13, 14, 13, 14, 13. And then he goes down to 16, 15 on the D. So right there. That's kind of. So. And then go back to that 13th fret, and then we're going to start descending. So it sounds kind of like he goes 16, 15. After you go back to the 13, you descend going 16, 15, 12. And then it's, from here on out, what I'm going to do is going to kind of show you the fingerings that you want. Because right there, you can make that out. And then after that, it's just chaos. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you kind of the fingering shapes so you can kind of recreate what he's doing. But like I said, he's just rapidly picking across it, and so we're going to try to play it the same way. So we have 14. So after you did that, so it is. After you got that, now do 14, 12, 11 on the D, 14, 12, 11 on the A. So this shape he kind of holds, just half step, whole step shape. And it's going to go all the way down to this F sharp here. So I'm just showing you the notes right now. So we have the F sharp there on the low E string, so that 14th fret. And then go back up, be 11, 12, 14, 11, 12, 14 here, and then he jumps up here. Here you can really start hearing what's going on again. He plays 13, 14, 16 on the G. So those are the notes. But he's not playing them straight up and down. He's kind of doing this. He's kind of, you can pick through it a couple times. And then on the way up. And when he gets up to this, so it's like, kind of like picking through each one twice. When he gets to that 13, 14, 16, he turns back around, back down to 13, 14, 13 on the G, and hits that 16th fret on the D. Then he ascends again to that 13, 14, 16. So kind of an approximation is like, and this last one, when you're ascending 13, 14, 16, you're then going to jump over to 14 on the B string and the 17, and that big, huge bend. Up, that's 2 whole steps. So all together, so I think that to me is the best approximation that you really kind of gotta get to it from things like I've seen covers, I've seen those things, but I've seen him, Steve play it as approximations of it a lot, and then the official thing. So I think this is probably going to be, it's a good enough thing, you know. And like I said, the bottom of that run is so heavily palm muted, you can't pick out all notes, even with the isolated track. You can't. So we had this big bend, then play 17, 14, 17, and then do that bend again. So we have this. And then 17, 14, 17 again. And then he does the bend here. So he goes up to the 19th fret and just does a whole step bend. So he's bending at the same note, but it's a lot easier. But he's doing it up here at the 19th fret instead of doing a 2 whole step bend here. He does that. So he does it twice there, the big bend twice at the 17th fret, and then just takes it up to the 19th fret and does the bend at the 19th fret, a whole step bend. So he does that right before he goes into that harmony section. Now the harmony section, I'm just going to kind of give you the main line, like the line you see him playing in the video. So it's, like that. So out of that, so over here we get to that. So at that bend at the 19th fret, and then we have this harmony line. So that's going to be over to the 19th fret on the high E now. Whole step bend and release. Then play 17. Then a half step bend and release at the 16th fret. Then play 19 on the B, 17, 14. I kind of shift down there like that. So with this. Now, and then the second half of it is you're going to play the 16th fret on the G string real quick. And then you go to that 3rd fret, again, 13th fret, I'm sorry. Kind of some half step bend and releases there. So a couple of them. And then what you're going to do is pick that note again. And then 16, 14 on the D. So we have this. And And then you're going to end the solo by going back to the 11th fret on the G string and some half step bend and release. Sorry, a whole step bend. A couple of them there. And just let it release the bend. And you are done. So it's just a great solo. It's got some impossible stuff in it, and it's just got some really cool stuff in it as well. But I think like that one little lick, if you kind of approximate it like I'm doing, it's gonna sound great. All right, so now from there, we just basically get back into the same little verse part. So it's just like, so nothing really changes, and even the chorus is the same, except it's just longer. So they kind of repeat it longer, and then we had this kind of ending section where they're just doing the, just repeating that without the little tail on it. And then you kind of just the ending is just like, it's kind of like we did it the very first time we played it in the psalm without that little tail. So you do it like 4 times, and then you just end it. That 4th time, instead of going to E, we just, the E power chord, go to an E major chord. All right, so it is a great song, another classic from Steve Lukather and Toto, and it's just got some great stuff in it. So I hope you guys enjoyed going through it with me. I'll see you again soon for GuitarLessons365.com.